We are back again. Scott Cole, Nick Mazzesko, and this time we are entrenched into the world of Rod. The Green Bay Packers back again. A lot of money spent. 3-year deal, $150 million. One thing they forgot: to lock up their all-world receiver. We're going to see what Aaron Rodgers can really do this year. Nick, what's your opening thoughts?
I'm very excited to do this win-loss game the next 2 weeks. I'm excited because I have a feeling how I think it's going to go, but you just don't know until you look at the schedules, and I think that's what people forget. And I think that's what I employ everybody when they listen to the win-loss game and they hear a record at the end. They go, I think they're going to be much better. We're going game by game. It's easy to look at them and go, I think they're a 7-win team. But if the schedule hurts them, they might be a 5-win team because that schedule is brutal. That's what I'm interested to see with these Packers and Aaron Rodgers, who showed up to the first day of training camp looking like Nick Cage from Con Air, which just fits.
It was awful. It was awful.
Brutal.
Oh, goodness. It was. Can they win the division? That is the big question. Or will it be the Minnesota Vikings? We break down the Packers next. I'll tell you what, Nick. This was a good team a year ago, and I'm not sure they got better. In fact, I think they've gotten worse. Your initial thought, draft, looking at the roster, obviously they have one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the history of the NFL. But that's not. I don't know if that's going to be enough this year. This wide receiving core is really going to have to step up.
Yeah. Davante Adams leaves a massive gap for this team. And it was at times last year. I mean, you watch this Packers team play. Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams had that sort of psychic connection where he'd just throw it and knew that Davante Adams was going to be there. Not going to have that anymore. That's going to be the big thing with this team. Also, I mean, Scott, is there a little bit of questioning? I mean, the NBA comparison I give Aaron Rodgers to, and tell me if this is fair. Aaron Rodgers to me screams Kevin Durant energy, like a guy who nobody doubts is talented. Aaron Rodgers is.
They're both weirdos? Is that what you're saying?
But by all intents and purposes, Aaron Rodgers is the most talented passer we've ever seen in terms of pure physical skills.
That is correct.
But he's also a guy who hasn't won a ton. He hasn't won a ton. It's not like he's looking at, 6 Super Bowl appearances in the last 10 years. Like, he has struggled at times to win the big game in the playoffs. He's done great beating up the NFC North. Is he kind of Kevin Durant at that point? Kevin Durant's a really good player. He won a title with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. That's kind of Aaron Rodgers. He's, I think, a little better, but good job beating up on the NFC North. They've been bad for a long time.
I think the most important player on this team might be Aaron Jones. He's almost going to this might be a guy you want to pick up in fantasy. We haven't talked a lot of fantasy. We're getting closer to the season, though, because he is going to get the ball a lot. I think that's fair to say. And they're able to spell him with A.J. Dillon, which I think he's a nice piece, especially when you get down in the red zone. But to me, this entire season, forget Aaron Rodgers because I think you know what you're going to get from him. Aaron Jones and then the rookie, Christian Watson. Is it Watson?
Yeah. Yeah, out of North Dakota State.
Out of North Dakota State, 6'4", 212.
Yeah.
He could have a huge season.
Yeah.
He could have one of the biggest rookie wide receiver seasons ever because he might be wide receiver 1 by the time it's said and done.
Or we could look back at their strategy to let Davante Adams go and draft Christian Watson as one of the biggest blunders in NFL history. We don't know. This offense is going to go as Aaron Rodgers can find these wide receivers. Allen Lazard is a good wide receiver. Is he a number 1? No.
Nope.
He's a 2. Sammy Watkins is a wide receiver. I don't even know if I'd put him at good. He's fine. But remember when everybody thought Sammy Watkins
I thought when you and I mean this is maybe a little bit of my Clemson bias coming out, but Sammy Watkins is up there in age. He's been in the
Yeah, he's
the
old.
league for a while, but I felt like when he played with the Chiefs, that he was
He was a
serviceable.
valuable piece.
He was serviceable.
Yeah, he was a role player. I mean, he played his role well. That doesn't mean you don't need him. But yeah, he was the.
But
he
he
was
is.
the
I
number
mean, on this team, he's going to be wide receiver 3.
3. You might see Randall Cobb slip into that wide receiver 3. He and Aaron Rodgers have always had this connection. Randall Cobb's also roughly 144 years old. So, important thing to note: they have 4 offensive starters currently on the PUP list. Yeah. Like to start the year, Watson's still recovering from an offseason foot injury. Mm-hmm. David Bakhtiari got hurt week 18, had knee surgery. Robert Tonyan is still recovering from his knee surgery, and Elgin Jenkins is still hurt from offseason surgery. Like, this is not a healthy line right now. Obviously, like, they have a couple weeks through training camp to get back, and we could see them all, play a preseason game or 2, but they could be dinged up. This offense is going to run through the wide receivers, and it's also going to be – this offensive line's got some question marks. David Bakhtiari is great. The second he went out last year, the team didn't look as good. John Runyon, a nice left guard. Josh Myers, a fine center. The right side is Royce Newman and Elgin Jenkins. I don't think it's a great right side of the line. There's a lot of question marks on this offense, and there's just one non-question mark, and that's Aaron Rodgers. Also, don't forget – I don't want anybody to ever forget Jordan Love is still there. They spent a first-round draft pick, and he is still there. So what's up, J-Lo?
What is he doing for the next 3 seasons? And can an injury happen and you trade him for some wide receiver mid-season or something like that? They're almost holding him like the ace of spades or something. Or maybe the truth is that's a huge blunder.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see them run the ball a whole lot more. That's why I brought up Aaron Jones. And I think when you talk about Davante Adams, that was 35% of the offense that you lose
100%.
Instantly. It's like Joe Montana losing Jerry Rice. It's just not the same.
Yeah, I mean, again, and it is fun to think about that. AJ Dillon. I mean, I would guess AJ Dillon would be a starter on 20 NFL teams right now. Yeah, that's how good I think AJ Dillon is. Mm-hmm. It's why also Aaron Jones. Hey, by the way, fantasy guys, be careful drafting Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. They are tough players to predict who's getting carries that week. Matt LaFleur just goes with whoever's the hot hand in practice. Like, it's weird.
But they're going to have to – I think you might even see, especially if you're in a PPR league, I think you might see them both on the field at times. And Aaron Jones is motioning out. He becomes kind of a slot guy. Like, they're going to have to use him in a whole lot more different ways.
Yeah.
We're 13-5 a year ago. Back-to-back MVP, and before we get into the win-loss game, you were talking about, well, probably not going to three-peat.
No.
But if you ever had a season where you can prove that you are the most valuable player in the NFL, it is put up 13, 14 wins with the Packers this season with the roster they have. You will be the MVP.
Yeah, and I think it kind of depends on how it goes because we didn't talk a lot about this defense. I think this defense is really good. Like, they've got some really nice – Kenny Clark's a great tackle. They locked down Preston Smith. Obviously, Jair Alexander and Eric Stokes
one of the best.
Are so good.
Yep.
Their back end, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage. I love that 1-2 punch, free safety, strong safety. Like, they've got some nice players here. Rashawn Gary was garbage at Michigan, is garbage at Green Bay. That's just Ohio State bias, though. I hate that guy. But yeah, if Aaron Rodgers is able to go out and throw 45 touchdowns and lead this team to a 13-4 record and a division win, yeah, obviously he's MVP.
By the way, they fired the special teams coach. They were horrid on special teams.
They were
last year.
Embarrassingly bad. I didn't know a professional team could be that bad on special teams. Yeah.
Especially a top-tier team. You're not used to seeing a top-tier team being really bad in special teams. So that's something that they're going to have to sew up.
Mason Crosby returns, who is America's most confusing kicker. Is he good? Is he bad? I have no idea. Depends on the week. Let's see. Sometimes he goes 5 for 5 and wins the game. Sometimes he goes 0 for 6.
You talk about Christian Watson, and I think he's eventually going to be the wide receiver 1 on this team.
I do too.
He's kind of a return god as well. So that could help the special teams. The question is how many times you want to put him out there when he might be the only way you can win games.
Don't forget they also got Amari Rogers still on that team, another Clemson guy.
He's a good return guy, and he's lightning quick.
Yep.
So, and we know the pop pass, and it's very popular. Jet sweep, very popular. You almost have to get Amari Rogers maybe involved in the offensive side of things a lot more, because just out of necessity, they're going to run the ball probably at least 10% more.
I think you're looking at between Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, you should expect 25 to 30 carries a game.
Yeah.
They're going to be on
And they
pace.
might play possession football this year.
Yeah.
They put up a lot of points last year. There's a lot of times where they got close to 30 or scored more than 30 points. There might be some times that they really try to milk things out.
100%.
Let's get to the win-loss game. 13-5. A year ago, they lost to the San Francisco 49ers in the playoffs by 3. And to be honest, Aaron Rodgers looked terrible in that football game. Somehow still won the MVP. Let's get to it. Opening day, September 11th, they face the team that we probably think, as the next two shows here, we go through these two teams, that probably will win this division. They face the Vikings to open up the season at Minnesota.
Ooh, that L's creeping up. It's on the road. It's in Minnesota. The Vikings are going to be fired up. I think this is a great game. I think it's a great toss-up game. I like the Vikings in this one.
Every team in this division, and it's a little bit like the AFC North, they hate each other.
Oh,
These are old school teams.
Yeah.
That their fans hate each other, and they
again,
want every win they can get.
Much like the AFC North and the NFC North, it's the similar. They are all in the Midwest, which means they all have bad winners, which puts them all in bad moods in football season, which makes them hate each other more. Like, that's it.
And the other thing is,
there's no hate in Arizona. Nobody can hate. It's nice in the winter.
You're playing against Aaron Rodgers,
right?
I'm showing up, hoping that they destroy Aaron Rodgers. As a neutral fan, I'll be watching and enjoying that game. That's one of the best games. 3:25 kickoff.
Really, again, we make fun of the NFL and their schedules because there's been some weird quirks. Week 1, they did right. Week 1, and you can see it on the bottom of the screen if you're watching this on video. There are so many really good games.
Buccaneers, Cowboys. Wow, just seeing that one roll.
Raiders, by. Chargers. That's going to be a fun game.
You can see the Broncos beat the Seahawks by 40.
Yeah,
that's the thing you can see happen.
Bills,
Rams to open the season. I cannot wait. All right. So 0-1, and then they open up the home schedule with the Bears. Throw the records out.
Yeah.
Even though Aaron Rodgers owns Chicago, it's a 7:20 kick on Sunday night, September 18. I think this is probably where they get their first win. I have no idea what the Chicago Bears are going to be like. I think they're finishing in the bottom of the division.
Yeah, I think this is a blowout. I really do. It's just home game. Home opener at Lambeau, coming off loss to the Vikings. Like, this team's going to want to come out and make a statement. This Bears team has a lot of question marks. We don't really know what they are. Even with the question marks at wide receiver for the Packers, I think if there's a bigger question mark than wide receiver for the Packers, it's cornerback for the Bears. Good luck figuring out who's going to stop anybody out there. I like the Packers are going to get their first win here in week 2.
Yeah, Bears going to have like 9 linebackers out there trying to run around.
Yep.
And you're going to see as we go through here, and this is why we're not high on the Packers, this schedule is rough. Yeah. It is real tough. They go down and face Tom Brady. So we get Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, week 3, 1-1. What happens in this one, Nick?
If you remember, we way back, and you can go back and listen to it on Spotify. I highly recommend it. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. We talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting the gift from Roger Goodell of all their tough games are at home, including this one. It's the Brady gift. I've got the Bucs winning this one. It's at Raymond James. I don't see this wide receiving core going down there doing anything. By the way, we haven't gotten really to talk about Julio to the Buccaneers. I think that
that kind of slipped under the radar as we've been moving along. That's a huge.
As the NFL has made bad news over and over. I'm excited to see Julio down in Tampa because he can really fit that Antonio Brown role of just a touchdown machine. He's a big body and can catch touchdowns. I think the Bucs win this game, and I think it's by 2 touchdowns.
I'm not disagreeing. I don't think they're going to be able to stay on the field with the Buccaneers. Just not going to happen. This is going to be a rough season as we continue to move along. So they're 1-2. Here come the Pats. New England Patriots on October 2nd, just in case Tom Brady decided to go back to New England.
Yeah.
They made sure they had both those games there.
Here comes a really nice stretch for the Packers, and you'll see why. I got them winning this game. It's a home game. I get it's the hoodie. I get the hoodie has been pretty good in general against Aaron Rodgers, but this New England team, if you listen to our show, not as high on this team as other people are. I don't think Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones is a league average quarterback. I like the Packers to get the win here at home.
Below average league quarterback.
Yeah. Lambeau is not a place you want to have to go win a game. I'm just saying, like top 3 toughest place to play. So yeah.
So they get to 2-2. Then they got to go to London.
Yeah.
To face the Giants. And if this was at home or in New York, I'm probably saying the Packers by a touchdown. But I got no when you get on a plane and go over water for at least 3 or 4 hours, I got no idea what's happening on the other end.
I've still got the Packers winning this game. Every report out of camp is Daniel Jones looks like Daniel Jones, which is unfortunate for everybody who's ever watched Daniel Jones play football. Sorry, Giants fans.
I hope we get Saquon back, and I hope we get him for an entire season because it is the epitome of football. That guy is a football player, like the football player in the league.
I mean, I love Saquon, but boy, if you think the Packers wide receiving core is rough, Kenny Golladay, Kadarius Toney, and Sterling Shepard out here going, hold your horses. Here's my beer. Wait a second, we're bad too.
Could have been all Big 12, but not
I'll
all
say
pro.
This is a more toss-up game than it probably looks because, as you said, going to London is tough. You just never know. But I've got the Packers winning this game pretty handily.
Aaron Rodgers not going to be happy about that trip. That's disrespectful. No. Disrespectful to have to go overseas. October 16th, we think they're sitting at 3-2, and they host the Jets, which we just did last week.
It's a bye week. Congratulations. You beat the Jets.
So 4-2. Hey, season's not going too bad. All right, 4-2. Head to Washington, D.C., the face of the Commanders. This is a 3-game road schedule.
It'd be 5-2.
5-2.
Everything we've heard is Carson Wentz does not. He threw 3 picks in practice yesterday. And again, I don't take practice reports that seriously, but he's also Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz hasn't been good in a long time. Even though I like this defense, even though I think the world, and I hope everybody kind of does, of Ron Rivera, one of the great personalities. Dan Snyder deserves everything bad to happen to him, and they're going to lose this game.
And their stadium's bad.
And their stadium's bad, and their nickname's bad. Owner stadium nickname, it's all bad.
Yeah. Who thought we'd miss Washington football team, but we did.
I do. I wanted Cleveland to rename the baseball team the Cleveland baseball team. I think that would have been a great name.
The current best quarterback in the league faces soon to be the new best quarterback in the league, the new Aaron Rodgers 3.0. Yeah. I don't think he'll be let's before this gets clipped and put out somewhere. I do not think Josh Allen will be as good as Aaron Rodgers. That is a tough task. Aaron Rodgers is one of the best talent that we ever seen in history. But Josh Allen is really good, and they have to go to Buffalo, and it is a Sunday night game.
Josh Allen is better than Aaron Rodgers could ever do. He fell at 11.
But they have some similar characteristics, right? And Josh Allen needs to stop running probably as much as he does, and hopefully they get him some help there in Buffalo.
Don't get hurt, Josh. Listen,
I think the Bills beat him by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, this is a big Bills win. Here's the thing. You want to know what Josh Allen has that Aaron Rodgers doesn't? Number 1 wide receiver. Stephon Diggs is really good. I think this Bills team is one of the better ones. Even though there's a lot of question marks at running back, they've got the defense to lock down this wide receiving core. They've got the offense to put up points, and it's at New Era Field, which is not a fun place to play. Nope. Buffalo wins this game, I think, pretty handily. I will watch this game, though. For a game that I think is going to be a blowout.
I will love to watch this game.
Buffalo, Green Bay, yes, please.
That's what I'm saying. This is, I grew up a Bears fan, and not much a fan of any team anymore, but just due to the nature of what we do. But
who's doing Sunday Night Football this year?
Who knows?
Who's the Sunday Night Football crew now? Is it Tirico?
Tirico and Collinsworth?
No, because the Collinsworth left, right?
Tirico and
Al Michaels left. It's Mike, Chris, and Melissa.
Chris and Melissa. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons that Tirico made the move.
Tirico, Collinsworth, and Stark. Who, let's be clear, I respect.
I like Melissa Stark coming back. I'm a huge Melissa Stark fan.
I love Melissa Stark. Chris Collinsworth is now. Here's a guy.
Here's a guy.
Which is fine. Like he's fine. He's fine.
He's fine.
I go back and forth on. I love Tirico in the studio as a
commentator. He's one of the best hosts, like bar none. Like
I go back and forth on how much I like him as a play-by-play guy. I think
I don't like when I hear a Reese Davis on the call. You know,
exactly.
I didn't like Mike Tirico doing Irish football. Like,
the only,
but he's good, right? You can't question that he's not good.
100%.
He's just a much better.
It's just I'm used to hearing. The only one that's been able to make that transition to me is Chris Fowler. I think Fowler has been great as a play-by-play guy. Yeah. I still like him more as a host, though. I wish he was still hosting Game Day. Like he was great as that Game Day host. It's weird. I don't know, but Sunday Night Football, Bills, Packers. I mean, on Halloween weekend, like that's gonna be a fun game to watch. I'm excited. By the way, a battle of two great young coaches, McDermott and McVay, going against each other. Like God, that has everything. Except a wide receiver for the Packers. Sorry.
So 5-3? Is that where we got them at?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 5-3.
So 5-3, they go to Detroit, which is kind of a sneaky game in between Buffalo and hosting the Dallas Cowboys. I know what you want to say, and you might not be wrong.
I'm going to put the Detroit Lions for a win here. This screams trap game to me.
Yeah.
It does. Dan Campbell's going to have this team amped up. By the way, this is going to be the schedule that coming into this for the Packers is London, home game, at Washington, at Buffalo, at Detroit.
Yes,
that's a
brutal.
Tough stretch.
Brutal.
A team that is already dinged up, possibly. We'll see how healthy Bakhtiari is coming back. Christian Watson is coming back. The Lions are a team that is significantly improved.
Yeah, they host the Dolphins the week before. So.
Yeah, and you know,
which is not a physical team.
There's a team that wants to run the ball. DeAndre Swift is, I think, one of the most underrated backs out there just because he plays in Detroit. They've got a couple really good wide receivers. They've got a top 6 tight end in TJ Hawkinson. And their defense, well, we'll see what happens with Jeff Okudah. Is Jeff Okudah good? Maybe not, but we'll find out what happens over there. This is a toss-up.
I got to remind you, Jared Goff's still the quarterback.
Yeah. Well, whoops. Obviously, like, it's a toss-up game. And we do a lot based on talent, but this I've just got a feeling, Scott. Put the line down for early.
It's like an early start, noon start.
It's at noon start in Detroit. The week after what is going to be a slobber knocker in Buffalo. Like you've got Dallas coming up at home. You've been on this. Just screams trap game.
Yeah, it's just get us home. Get us.
And if there's somebody who's going to do it, it's Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's going to get that team ready.
That puts them at 5-4. This puts them in a hurting.
Yeah. And
the schedule, there's a lot of meaningful games out there left that they're going to need to win.
Back half of the schedule is not fun.
Well, let's talk about that November 13th matchup versus the Dallas Cowboys, who, when they're healthy, are a really good football team. And it pains me to say because I'm not a huge Cowboys supporter. Lived half my life in Dallas, heard enough of it. But when they're healthy, they're a really good football team.
Listen, this game's at Lambeau. That helps them. Mm-hmm. I've got the Dallas Cowboys winning this game. It's a toss-up for sure, 100%. But assuming everyone is healthy, I mean, that's
all we can do.
Yeah, that's all we can do. I have always been a bigger Dak Prescott guy than other people are. I think Dak Prescott has proven that he's a good quarterback that has been let down at times. We know how good their line can be. We know that they have a good running back in Tony Pollard, and also Zeke Elliott's there too. And I'm excited to see CeeDee Lamb. And the most important part for taking down Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers is a defense that can get stops. And you've got Trayvon Diggs out there, who is an absolute interception machine. You got Jaron Kearse, who's a top 3 strong safety, top 2 maybe strong safety in the game. You've got a fast linebacking core with Micah Parsons and Leighton Vander Esch.
Parsons might be the best defender in the league.
Exactly. I mean, this team, I know they're the Cowboys, and I know the Cowboys disappoint the Cowboys fans all the time. But on paper, this is a team that should go out and win. And, you know, you got D-Law that can – I can't wait to watch D-Law go against David Bakhtiari. That's a fun battle on the ends. I like the Cowboys to win this game. It screams a field goal game. It's going to be a fun one, but – I don't see this.
That puts him at
wide
5-5,
core.
Nick. You
Yeah.
got him at 5-5.
I do.
And I'm not hating on it. Like, I don't have much to say.
And again, we got the Detroit loss in there. They certainly could win that.
Yeah,
game,
they could be
but
6-4. Certainly. Thursday night, so short week. They got the Tennessee Titans, who aren't a great football team, but a short week could be interesting.
Yeah, I got the Packers winning this game by about 1,000. I'm not a big Titans fan. I respect the hell out of Derrick Henry, and they have, by the way, one of my favorite wide receivers right now. They got Robert Woods, and I've always thought Robert Woods was great, and I think people just learned how good he was last year with Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
Their wide receivers behind him are Treylon Burks and Nick Westbrook-Akine. That is a bad wide receiving core. They have Ryan the Tannehill Manahill at quarterback. He's not good. Listen, their defense is solid, but I think the Packers win this game. This to me screams like 13-10. It's not going to be a pretty game. It helps that it's at Lambeau. I think this is going to be an ugly game. I will say this.
These are must-win games to get back to what they expect, what Aaron Rodgers expects.
Aaron Rodgers, and I feel like the Packers do this every year. They go on a slump, and Aaron Rodgers wills them to some wins, and they play with some urgency. This is going to be an urgency game. I will say this. If this game has any weather whatsoever in Lambeau, and we're going to have an Aaron Jones v. Derrick Henry running back battle, it's going to be fun to watch. I really love this game to watch. If it is a nice day and Aaron Rodgers gets past the ball, I think the Packers win by 1,000.
We're used to Derrick Henry pushing 2,000 yards. He's going to have 3,000, which obviously would never happen in the history of anything.
Yeah.
Titans it's going to be a rough season, y'all. Yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. That's a division that the Colts are going to run away with. November 27th. So we got them sitting at 6-5. They have to go to Philly.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Philly's going to be decent this year. I think they might be good. We might be having them as a division winner this year, or at least competing for it. But I've got the Packers winning this game, and there's one big reason for this one. And it is no disrespect to what I think the Eagles are going to be. The Green Bay Packers are going to have 10 days off to prepare for this game. The Philadelphia Eagles play in Indianapolis the week before. That is a game that is going to get beat up and bottled up, and they're going to want to just lay down for. I think the Green Bay Packers can go into Philly and get a win. It's not going to be a fun win. It's Lincoln Financial. Have fun. Who's, by the way, can we just say this now? Worst fans, Cowboys or Eagles?
Eagles.
Okay.
By far.
Just
and they probably take pride in it.
Okay. Cool.
Like, the Cowboys are delusional.
Yeah.
Their fans are delusional.
Yeah. The Eagles fans are just mean.
And just mean.
So Cowboys fans are Michigan fans. Got it. I was just trying to figure out what it was. All right, now the second question: Eagles or Raiders?
Oh boy.
Yeah, have fun with that one.
The crazy thing is, like, the Raiders fans, it fits. It just fits. You know.
It fits a little less though, being in the Death Star in Vegas though. Like, it made sense in the dirty, nasty Coliseum in Oakland.
Has any team moved more than the Raiders have moved?
Vegas, it's like, oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go to the Bellagio and have a good time. See you later.
They certainly have gotten softened.
Yeah.
By going to Las Vegas, and that's gonna be a fun team to talk about. So right now we got them sitting at. Have they made it back to 7-5?
They're 7-5. Yep. Yeah, they were.
And they got the Bears before the bye week.
Yeah, they're gonna beat the Bears. Yep.
Yeah.
It's gonna be December 4th
at Chicago. Anything can happen.
Yeah, December 4th in Chicago. We could be seeing 25-mile-an-hour winds with snow on the ground. It could be ugly, but who's your daddy?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers.
By the way, another good team with a week 14 bye week. Like, yuck.
They're so late in the season.
Are we just going to get to these last two divisions and everyone's got the week 5 bye week? I feel like we've had no early bye weeks. Everyone's week 14.
It's been few and far between. But they're going to need it because Monday Night Football, mid-December, the Rams have to go to Lambeau, the Super Bowl champs against Aaron Rodgers. And you hope that the Packers win some games along the way. Yep. So this game is exciting and meaningful.
Again, obvious toss-up game. I've got Green Bay winning this game. It's December.
Ooh.
It's December in Green Bay. That's tough. Number one.
Hey, but
Number two,
Stafford did that for years.
Yep. Number two, They have the secondary to keep up with Cooper Kupp and all that. Jair Alexander is a stellar number one corner. They've got the receiving core, and they have the offensive line to block Aaron Donald. David Bakhtiari shifts around. You have a good interior offensive line. Even though it's Aaron Donald, he's going to get his stuff.
That dude's a freak.
Jalen Ramsey is going to lock down somebody out there.
Yep.
But this, to me, December 19th, off of a bye week, LaFleur's going to have this team ready to go. This
is the Aaron Jones games that I've been talking about. These are the Aaron games that Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon can make a real impact late in the season at home.
Yep. And they're the other interesting part about this game, there's two other things that are interesting about this game. Number one is the schedule. Bye week for Green Bay. For the Rams, this is sandwiched between a home date against the Raiders and a home date against the Broncos. Two division games with this one in between. I'm not saying it's a trap game because obviously they're going to get up for Green Bay.
They're going to be up for Green Bay. Yeah.
But a letdown spot for sure. And I'm glad he got his ring. Matt Stafford has never been great against Green Bay. He is not in Detroit, nowhere. He's never put up good numbers against them. It's just one of those things that you just wonder if it still haunts him.
Yep.
Matt Stafford versus Green Bay. Let's see what are his stats like versus Green Bay.
Hey,
career pass rating of 90.2 with 5,900 yards, 40 touchdowns, 21 interceptions in 21 games.
Does it have a win-loss?
Does he have a win-loss? Matt Stafford record versus Green Bay. 7-14. He is 7-14 versus the Packers.
Yeah. And he played on a lot of bad Lions teams.
A lot of bad Lions teams.
And a lot of good against a lot of good Packers teams.
He has not beaten the Green Bay's Packers since 2013.
Okay.
So it's been a while. So that's why I got the Packers in this one. Could the Rams win this game? Absolutely. Toss-up game. But guess what? If the Lions are going to get a win over the Green Bay Packers, I have to give them a nice win on the other side, and it's going to be this one.
So they're sitting at 9-5.
Mm-hmm.
3 games left. They go to South Beach to face the Dolphins.
Yep.
That's on Christmas Day, by the way. So not a bad place to be on Christmas.
Aaron Rodgers will show up dressed as Santa Claus. No kid will want to sit on his lap because he's terrifying. And the Packers will win this game. I like Miami.
It's not as easy as it looks, though.
It's a road game. It's going to be a toss-up game for me. Again, we talked about Miami. They go as Tua goes. Depends which Tua we have. But I think the Packers are better than this Miami team with Tua at quarterback. I think it's going to be a fun game. I can't wait to watch Jair versus Tyreek Hill. That's going to be a really fun matchup. But I like the Packers to go on the road and win this game. This is going to be a touchdown game. This is a game on Christmas Day in that early window that I think will be nice to watch.
So now sitting at 10-5, 2 games left, and these are huge games.
Massive.
This New Year's Day, which I hate that they're playing on New Year's Day. It
hurts.
College football. They play the Vikings at home with maybe the division on the line. We'll get to the Vikings next show, but the division could be on the line right here.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Again, we'll have to go.
And by the way, the Vikings play the Giants the week before on a Saturday.
Oh, bye week. Good for them. We'll have to do the Vikings win-loss game, but I think this is going to be for the division. And I've got the Green Bay Packers winning this game because it is in Lambeau.
Yeah.
That's it. That is the only reason.
And Kirk Cousins in big games.
It's tough.
They don't go well.
They don't do well in big games. Kirk Cousins has yet to be that, he can say you like that all you want. He wins a lot in daytime. I got the Packers winning this game. It's a toss-up. I want to go Minnesota, but I think the Packers, at the very least, I will say this. I think the Packers have a better chance of being in a wild card race right now, and they're going to need this win to get into the wild card because the NFC wild card, I think, is going to be tough. Give me the Packers in this one. They got the early win. They got the early loss for Minnesota. Got the early win week 1. I think that this is a home team split, and that's fair. I think to both teams.
Final game of the season. They're sitting at 11-5.
Detroit
Lions.
56-3. They're going to beat if they lose the Lions in that week.
They're going to beat the brakes off
on November 6th. They're going to beat the crap out of Dan Campbell. Sorry, dog. They split. They probably go 2-0, but I think they split. And this game, even if there's nobody, I'll say this: if there's nothing on the line and Jordan Love is playing, the Lions will win this game because Jordan Love sucks. He is not good. He's a bad quarterback. We've seen him play. He has nothing.
It hasn't been impressive so far.
No, I think even if they are sealed in at the 1 seed and the division win, they're going to play all their starters for 3 quarters because the Lions possibly beat them. They're going to just beat the crap out of them.
What's so 12-5?
12-5, sorry.
12-5, not too bad. What's the basement and what's the ceiling for this team as far as win losses go?
Ceiling, I don't think is much higher than 12. I think you're talking 13 wins.
Yep.
It's the Lions.
It's not an easy schedule.
No, it's not. They get a nice stretch there with the New York, Washington stretch. I think there's maybe one more win out here. Obviously, we gave them the win in LA or against LA. We gave them a loss against Detroit. Those could very easily flip-flop. I think there's a chance you win them both.
I think there's also a chance that this team wins 7 games.
I think
it could go really bad. They could have a tough time moving the football this year.
Let me look at the schedule. I think worst case scenario, where are their wins? Let's go 1, 2, 3.
I think they beat the Bears twice.
Okay, let's play devil's advocate. Worst case scenario: loss against Minnesota, beat the Bears, loss against Tampa, loss against New England. I'll say loss against New York in London just because it's London.
It could happen.
They beat the Jets. I think they beat Washington. They lose to Buffalo.
You got them losing to Detroit.
Lose to Detroit.
Lose to Dallas.
Lose to Dallas.
Short week against Titans. They could lose that.
Lose to Tennessee. Lose to
Philly.
At Chicago. I mean, you're really talking.
At Chicago's not easy.
Lost there. 5, 6?
6, 7. It could happen.
It really could. I don't think there are a lot of.
It just shows you the amount of respect, Nick, that we're giving to Aaron Rodgers.
100%.
To have this schedule and win 12 games. A lot of respect to him and Aaron Jones.
This team's a 6-win team. I mean, if Jimmy Garoppolo starting this team, I put him as a 6-win team. Like, this wide receiving core is not very good. Aaron Rodgers elevates players around him, which is why he's one of the best out there. But there are not a lot of games on the schedule, Scott, that I go, that is for sure a win. It's pretty much the Jets at home. If the Jets go into Lambeau and beat the Packers, I don't know what to tell you. The season has lost its mind at that point. But it's basically the Jets at Lambeau. One of the Bears game, the Bears at Lambeau, I don't think get a win. The Lions at Lambeau. Tennessee at Lambeau. And even that's a game on a short week that they could lose. Yeah. That's the only ones that I go, those are wins for sure.
The season really comes down to, Nick, it's a bookend. It is at Minnesota, and then you host Minnesota at the end. If you want to win the division, which is the best way to get in. Yeah. You don't want to get in that wild card mess.
I would say a realistic ceiling for them with Aaron Rodgers as a quarterback is, and Matt LaFleur as a coach, let's not forget that.
Yep.
Is with that wide receiving core, 8 wins. Maybe 7, but I think 8 wins is probably their floor. Any less than that, you'd be getting at Aaron Rodgers or some major injury. Aaron Jones not playing well.
Yeah.
Matt LaFleur accidentally turning into Matt Nagy in the middle of the year. I don't know what to tell you. But you're probably looking at 8 wins floor. But honestly, this is not an easy schedule. I would not want the schedule as a division winner. This sucks.
Well, because you've been good the last couple of seasons, so this is the schedule you get. You're good. You get a tough schedule. That's kind of how the NFL works. Come back next week. Find out, actually, just a couple days from now. We're on Tuesdays and Thursdays now, maybe fixing to become Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, to try to get all the teams in before we kick off on September 8th. Minnesota Vikings. It's going to be an interesting win-loss game because earmark this 12-5 that we have for the Packers right now, because that is going to be huge when it comes to figuring out if Minnesota is going to have enough wins. They're going to have to win 13 games to win the division. It's going to be tough. That's what we got on the docket as we continue to work through the NFC North. Thanks so much for watching the show. As a reminder, you can find our audio podcasts out on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Of course, we're on Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn. What's up, LinkedIn?
What's up, LinkedIn? Good to see you.
Facebook, whatever, man. Finding the show is not hard. Just search for Scott Cole and Nick Mazesco. And that's it for us. Cannot wait to bring you the Vikings. It's going to be an exciting one as we get closer and closer to the kickoff of the 2022 NFL season.